Hello, everyone. First off, Errol, John, thank you so much for asking me to do this presentation, and thanks again for the Eric Mazur Flip Learning Award. We're really excited. I really hope this talk helps someone out there who is also interested in having a stronger impact on their students' learning. So I'll be telling you step by step what and how we did it. I'll first be talking a little bit about the context, how the idea came about, implementing the plan, and finally some takeaways. So let me tell you a little bit about the context. We're part of a network of independent universities with 9 campi in Mexico, 1 in Chile, and 1 in Spain. We have approximately 13,000 undergraduate students and 3,000 graduate students. We're a medium-sized Catholic university, and we offer a wide range of disciplines. Now, some aspects that I believe have helped us implementing this project is that we have a really well-respected Center for Teaching and Learning. I'll be talking about that center a lot. And our strategic plan emphasizes educational innovation and the quality of teaching, and also close contact with students and faculty is of strategic importance. So as you can see, all of this is really important and goes hand in hand with flipped learning. Now, speaking about the Center for Teaching and Learning, they're a pioneer in their field. They've been operating for 33 years now, and their mission is to keep our faculty at the forefront of teaching methodologies. It has a very strong emphasis on active learning, and it offers quite a few courses to thousands of participants a year. Now, one good thing about it is that they're embedded in the Academic Development Department, which also holds the Center, the Coordination for Educational Technologies, CTE or CTE. So they've been doing a lot of work together, and this has been an important factor in the success of this project. This is a CEFAD team with Laura Gamboa at the head and at the top. She's the head of this department right now. And now going on to a second aspect, the idea. How did we get the idea? Well, you can see in the picture, you'll see Inés Botero and Analí Barrera. Inés is the former head of the CEFAD department, and she heard about flipped learning a few years ago. So when we celebrated CEFAD's 30th anniversary, she decided to invite John Bergman as a keynote speaker. So John Bergman, in his keynote presentation, talked about the impact of flipped classroom on meaningful learning. The president of the university was there, the deans of schools, and approximately 300 faculty members were present. In his talk, using photos from countries around the world, John demonstrated that many K-12 and higher education students are stuck in a lecture-based passive learning classroom, and that this hasn't changed in over 100 years. At the end of the presentation, we saw a very positive reaction to his ideas, both from our faculty and administrative staff. So that's when we started getting the idea. And what we did was do more research on flipped learning. We participated, Inés Botero, myself, and Analí Barrera, all from CEFAD, participated in the flipped learning higher ed masterclass at the University of Northern Colorado. And we started thinking about the possibility of becoming a Flipped Learning Global Certification Center for Latin America. Of course, we had to talk this over with the president, Dr. Sanchez, and he was quite enthused about the idea. Now, one of the reasons why we chose flipped learning, why we think flipped learning can work, especially for us, is because it can work well with different teaching styles, different disciplines, different subjects, different cultures, different personalities, and it's broadly applicable. We like the fact that flipped learning is a framework that allows professors to use other teaching strategies that they already know, because as I mentioned before, CEFAD has been working with active learning, PBL, case studies, several other methodologies, and we wanted faculty to be able to incorporate these. So in this picture, you can see the front page of an article that Errol Sinclair wrote for us. And so this is really when the idea began, and we started working on a 2-year action plan. We were very careful that taking everything that we had to take into consideration so that we could have both administrative and faculty support. What we did is think about faculty and administrative support, tech needs, what certifications we wanted our faculty and CEPAD members to go through, and also, as I mentioned, becoming a certification center for Latin America. And I can talk about 6 specific steps that we went through. And I'll be mentioning these throughout the presentation, but they're choosing the participants, a first session with them, tech training, the workshop, the flipped learning workshop, along with the online modules, peer observation, and feedback. We had a total of 3 cohorts with 90 faculty and CEPAD members, most of them not just going to taking certification level 1, but 2, and some of them the trainer certification. Choosing the participants, that's our first step, and that was crucial. We didn't want this to be a mandated initiative. We wanted people, faculty members that participate, to think about this project as a privilege, participating in this project as a privilege. So I called all the deans personally and told them about what flipped learning is about. Most of them had heard John Bergman's conference, his keynote speech, and it said that the university was going to finance this effort and that we had to choose carefully which faculty members would participate. We wanted someone enthusiastic, willing to try new things in the classroom, not afraid of technology, and of course, since the workshop was in English, they had to also be able to speak English. And for them to be recognized as doing something special, right from the start, we started calling them our flipped learning champions. And up to this day, if we write them an email or something, we'll write, "Dear Champions." And I think it was a really good idea. In this slide, you can see the schools and departments that participated. 19 schools and 3 departments, including CEPAD members. Here's a picture of the 3 cohorts. As I mentioned, 90 participants. You can see that the 3rd cohort was done, it was a virtual experience, not face-to-face. And it was really exciting that after we had the first cohort, their enthusiasm just seemed to spread throughout the 19 schools on campus. And we started getting requests to participate and for us to offer more workshops. So this was wonderful. It was really exciting. Okay, so what happened next after we had chosen the participants? We had a first session with them. We offered them on different dates to make sure that everyone could go. And during this first session, Inés Botero did these sessions. She explained, what flipped learning is about and talked about some of the research that's been done on this methodology and asked them if they wanted to participate. Because if they did want to participate, we asked them to sign that they agreed to do the whole experience, the modules, the workshop, and that they would be able and committed to sharing their experiences with peers. And they did. I'll talk to you about that later. Now, one thing that we innovated that we didn't go through when we went to the workshop in Denver is that we realized that it was very important that we offered a hands-on technology workshop before the workshop. That way, during the workshop, tech issues would be reduced and there would be more freedom to focus on other activities. We think this was a great idea. It's worked really well, and those are some of the apps and the technological aspects that we went through in this tech training. Another aspect that we realized, and fortunately we had the budget to do so, is that we needed a special space with cameras, taping equipment, etc., where faculty could go and feel comfortable just working out on their videos, getting the support they had, because we know that no one wants to make a fool of himself in front of his class. So we felt that we needed to give them extra support. So that's when we started working, and we didn't really, we're just starting to get it into full use right now after COVID-19, because, but we've had it ready since almost a year ago. So we inaugurated the EMID. EMID stands for Multimedia Space for Digital Innovation. And here we have the latest technologies such as virtual reality, 3D printing, video production, just to name a few. And faculty members can get all the support and equipment they need to work here. So here are some pictures of our multimedia space. So we're very happy about that. So anyway, after they had taken their tech workshop, and of course they had to work on 3 online modules, then we had the workshop. The workshop was face-to-face, offered by Errol Sinclair, Tom Manella, and Carolyn Fell-Kerben. The last of the workshops that we offered, as I mentioned, was virtual. And our faculty members were really enthusiastic, and according to Errol, Tom, and Carolyn, they've been probably the most enthusiastic participants that they've had so far. So I'm going to show you a couple of fragments of these workshops. They were really fun, engaging, and faculty members experienced what flipped learning is. All right, well, the 5th step that we did was also something new, something that we hadn't lived through when we participated in our own workshop. And from all the experience that we have in CEFAD, our center, we know that many times when faculty members participate in workshops or in courses, if they don't put it into practice immediately, then they'll never put it into practice. Faculty members are pretty scared of making a fool of themselves in front of their classrooms. So we had to push them to use flipped classrooms. So as part of the certification, we told them they wouldn't get their certificate until they practiced flipped classroom in a real class setting, and that we would have one of our mentors observe them. So that's what we did, and we developed a rubric, which is in Spanish here, but it's a very complete rubric that we had our mentor use when they observed the class, the flipped class. Finally, after this observation period, the mentor had 1-hour sessions with the faculty, the professor, the faculty member. They would go over the rubric, talk about suggestions, if he had any questions, and what his future plans were. And we think the results of doing this way were extraordinary. That I think it's a very important aspect of the success that we've had, and that faculty members are really using this methodology in their classrooms. Well, one important thing that I'd like to add before I finish is that when COVID-19 started, we the university decided not to shut down, not even for a single day, but we started virtual classes immediately. And of course, and I include myself, no one had experience doing this. So we started offering all sorts of tech courses, and we thought flipped learning would be ideal for this new modality, virtual modality. So we offered a fast-track workshop combining online modules and a face-to-face virtual workshop to over 3,000 faculty members. And what we did was ask our 90 champions to help us out. And it's thanks to them that we were able to do this. We achieved, we did these workshops in a month and a half. So that was a wonderful and very rewarding experience. So some final takeaways. What's really important? Now, let me tell you, we've done several surveys. We have a couple of videos, but they're in Spanish, with students and faculty about how they feel about flipped learning. And everyone is very enthused by this project and convinced of the impact it can have on learning. So the takeaways are: have a central project team, do preliminary research, get support from the top, begin doing a pilot. And let me tell you, when we started the project, we're always thinking about a pilot, not the whole university at once. And at first we thought about just working with one school, but then we reflected on this and we said, no, we want every school to have an ambassador, a champion that can start spreading what flipped learning is. I think it was a great idea to do it this way. Create a screening process to get exactly the right people in the project. Invite participants with a written commitment. That was also very important. Establish a project plan with timetable, key performance indicators, and provide for ongoing support. Create a positive word of mouth and start with a foundation of trust. And that's where, as I mentioned before, having CEFAD, this 30 some odd years Center for Faculty Development, was just something that helped us tremendously with this project. We're very happy now that Dr. Carolyn Kurban is taking this model back to MEF University in Turkey. Well, that's it, and I'm open to any questions you have. Here's my email, and I hope this talk has been useful for someone. Thank you.